Listen carefully, beloved soul, for I, Archangel Michael, commander of the heavenly hosts, protector of the faithful, wielder of the flaming sword of truth, come to you in this sacred moment with a message that cannot wait another breath, another heartbeat, another fleeting second of your earthly existence. The Father of all creation has seen what transpires in the shadows of your family, and the weight of what I must reveal to you now carries the full authority of the throne of heaven itself. Your sister, the one who shares your bloodline, the one who walked beside you through childhood's innocence, the one whose laughter once filled your home with joy, she carries a secret so profound, so deeply buried, so carefully concealed that even you, who know her better than most souls upon this earth, have failed to see the truth that hides behind her eyes. But nothing, absolutely nothing, remains hidden from the all-seeing gaze of the Almighty, and what has been concealed in darkness must now be brought into the piercing light of divine truth. Before I go further into the depths of this revelation, you must understand something fundamental about the nature of heaven's warnings. We do not speak merely to alarm you, we do not descend from the celestial realm simply to disturb your peace, we do not break through the veil between worlds without purpose so profound that eternity itself hangs in the balance. When an archangel appears in the life of a mortal soul, when we are commanded by the Most High to deliver a message, it is because a crossroads has been reached, a moment of such critical importance that the very trajectory of souls is about to shift dramatically. Your sister stands at such a crossroads right now, in this very moment as you read these words, and you, dear one, you have been chosen as the instrument through which heaven will work to bring about the transformation that must occur. The threads of destiny are not random, they are woven by hands divine, and you are part of a tapestry far greater than you have ever imagined. What your sister has been hiding is not a simple matter of earthly secrets, the kind that families often keep to maintain peace or avoid uncomfortable conversations. No, what she conceals goes deeper than that, it touches the very essence of her soul, it involves choices that have spiritual consequences rippling out into dimensions you cannot see with mortal eyes. For months now, perhaps even years, she has been walking a path that diverges from the light, making decisions in secret that have opened doors to influences that heaven views with great concern. I do not speak to you in vague metaphors or abstract concepts, I am telling you plainly that your sister has entangled herself with forces, with people, with situations that are pulling her away from her divine purpose, away from the protection that her guardian angels have tried desperately to maintain around her. She has built walls around her heart, not just to keep others out, but to keep the truth locked in where even she does not have to face it fully. You may be wondering right now why heaven has chosen to reveal this to you rather than directly to her, and that is a question worthy of an answer. Free will is sacred, it is the most precious gift the Creator has given to humanity, and even we who serve before the throne do not violate it lightly. Your sister has free will, and she has used that free will to make choices, but she has also constructed elaborate defenses against truth, against intervention, against the very help that could save her from the consequences that are now gathering like storm clouds on her horizon. But you, beloved soul, you still have access to her heart in ways that heaven's direct intervention does not. You are connected to her by bonds of blood and memory, by shared history and familial love, and these connections create pathways through which divine grace can flow if you are willing to become the vessel through which it travels. This is not a burden placed upon you as punishment, it is an honor bestowed upon you because heaven has looked into your heart and found you worthy of this sacred trust. The specific nature of what she hides involves deception, both of herself and of those around her. She has been living a double life, presenting one face to family and another to the world she has secretly embraced. There are relationships she has not spoken of, choices she has made that contradict everything she claims to believe, financial entanglements that could lead to ruin, and spiritual compromises that have weakened the light that once shone so brightly within her soul. I see you now, reading these words with your heart beginning to race, perhaps with denial rising in your mind because you want to believe the best of her, because you love her and cannot imagine that someone so close to you could be living in such profound disconnection from truth. But love sometimes blinds us to what we need to see, and the enemy of souls knows this well. He uses our love as a weapon to keep us from acting when action is most needed. Heaven has been patient, extraordinarily patient, sending her signs and synchronicities, placing people in her path who could have helped her, creating circumstances designed to wake her up to the danger she is in, but she has ignored them all. Her guardian angels weep in the celestial realms because they watch her moving further from the light each day, making choices that compound previous mistakes, digging herself deeper into a pit from which escape becomes more difficult with each passing moment. You need to understand something crucial right now. There is a window of opportunity that is beginning to close, a moment in time where intervention is still possible, where the course can still be corrected, where redemption is still within reach, but that window will not remain open indefinitely. The spiritual laws that govern the universe are precise, and there comes a point where the consequences of our choices become unavoidable, where the seeds we have planted must produce their harvest whether we want them to or not. I am sent to you now because tomorrow may be too late, next week may be beyond the point of intervention, next month the walls she has built may become so thick that even your love cannot penetrate them. The revelation of her secrets is coming whether she chooses to reveal them or not, because truth has a way of surfacing no matter how deeply it is buried. The universe itself conspires to bring hidden things to light, and what she has concealed is already beginning to crack through the surface of her carefully maintained facade. You can be part of a gentle revelation, a loving intervention guided by heaven, or you can stand aside and watch as her secrets explode into the open in ways that will devastate her and everyone who loves her. This is the choice before you, this is why I have been sent, this is the crossroads at which you now stand. Let me tell you about the nature of secrets and why they are so spiritually dangerous. When we hide truth, we create pockets of darkness within our own souls, spaces where light cannot penetrate, areas where spiritual infection can take root and grow. Your sister's secrets have created such spaces within her, and in those dark pockets, forces that do not have her best interests at heart have found places to whisper, to influence, to guide her further from the path of light. This is not superstition or religious fantasy. This is spiritual reality that operates according to laws as reliable as the physical laws that govern your material world. Darkness grows in hidden places, and the longer secrets are kept, the more power they accumulate, the more deeply they embed themselves into the fabric of a person's life until they become almost impossible to extract without tremendous pain and upheaval. Your sister is suffering right now, even if she does not show it to you, even if she smiles and maintains her composure in your presence. Behind closed doors, in the private moments when no one is watching, she wrestles with guilt and fear and shame. She knows, somewhere deep in her consciousness, that she is living contrary to her own values, that she has betrayed herself even more than she has betrayed others. This inner conflict is tearing her apart spiritually, fragmenting her soul, creating a dissociation between who she truly is and who she pretends to be. I see this clearly from my vantage point in the heavenly realms. I see the light that is her true essence struggling against the shadows she has invited in. I see her higher self crying out for help while her ego construct continues to build defenses and tell lies to protect itself from exposure. What will happen when her secrets come to light, and they will come to light, is this: there will be shock, there will be judgment, there will be broken trust that may take years to rebuild. Family members will feel betrayed, friends will question everything they thought they knew about her, and she herself will have to face the full weight of what she has done, what she has become, what she has allowed herself to hide from. This reckoning is inevitable now. The spiritual momentum is already in motion, but the manner in which it unfolds is not yet determined. If you act now, if you approach her with love and truth, if you create a safe space for her to confess and begin the process of healing before the universe forces the revelation in harsher ways, then the damage can be minimized, the pain can be contained, the redemption can begin under circumstances of choice rather than under the crushing weight of exposure and public humiliation. I want you to understand that heaven is not punishing your sister, we are trying to save her. The revelation of her secrets is an act of mercy, not judgment, because continuing to live in deception would destroy her far more completely than facing the truth ever could. There is a saying in your world that the truth will set you free, and this is not mere platitude. It is spiritual law. Freedom cannot exist in the presence of sustained deception, peace cannot coexist with hidden guilt, growth cannot happen when we are using all our energy to maintain false facades. Your sister has been in spiritual chains of her own making, and heaven is orchestrating events that will break those chains. But the breaking process is painful, and it would be far less painful if she chose to remove the chains herself before they are forcibly broken. Now I must speak to you about your role in all of this, about what heaven is asking of you, and I will not minimize the difficulty of what I am about to say. You are being called to have one of the hardest conversations you will ever have in this lifetime. You are being asked to approach your sister with truth spoken in love, to create a space where she feels safe enough to lower her defenses and admit what she has been hiding. This will require courage because she may react with anger, with denial, with accusations that you are being judgmental or intrusive. She may tell you that her life is none of your business, that you have no right to question her, that your concerns are unfounded. These reactions are predictable because they are the ego's defense mechanisms activating to protect the secret that it has worked so hard to conceal. You must not let these reactions deter you. You must not accept her denials at face value. You must persist with gentle firmness, with love that refuses to enable her self-destruction. When you approach her, and you must approach her soon, choose your moment carefully. Find a time when you will not be interrupted, when there is privacy and space for difficult truth to be spoken. Begin not with accusations but with love. Remind her of the bond you share. Express your concern for her well-being. Tell her that you have sensed something is wrong and that you are there to support her no matter what she needs to tell you. Create emotional safety first because confession requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires trust. If you come at her with judgment or condemnation, she will only retreat further into her fortress of secrets, but if you approach with genuine compassion and unconditional love, you create a doorway through which truth can emerge. Be prepared for her to test you, to reveal small truths first to see how you react before she reveals the deeper ones. This is natural human behavior. We all do this when we are afraid of being rejected or condemned. Accept whatever she tells you without shock or harsh judgment. Validate her courage in speaking even partial truths, and gently encourage her to go deeper. Ask questions that come from a place of wanting to understand rather than from a place of wanting to condemn. Your energy, your tone, your body language, all of this will communicate whether she is truly safe with you or not. Remember that you are acting as heaven's instrument in this moment, and heaven approaches all souls with infinite compassion even while holding them accountable to truth. There is something else you need to know about the spiritual dynamics at play here. Your sister's secrets have not only affected her, they have created energetic disturbances in the entire family system. Secrets are like toxins. They poison the environment in which they are kept, they create undercurrents of tension and confusion, they cause people to feel that something is wrong without being able to identify what it is. You may have felt this yourself, vague unease in her presence, moments where something she said did not quite add up, occasions where her energy felt discordant with her words. These were your intuition, your soul's wisdom, trying to alert you that all was not as it seemed, but perhaps you dismissed these feelings, told yourself you were being paranoid or overly suspicious. I am here to tell you that your intuition was correct. Those feelings were accurate perceptions of spiritual reality, and you should trust them now as you move forward. The forces that have influenced your sister, that have encouraged her secrets and fed on the energy of her deception, these forces do not want you to intervene. They will attempt to place obstacles in your path, to create doubts in your mind, to make you question whether you have the right to get involved, to suggest that perhaps it is better to wait, to convince you that maybe things are not as serious as you fear. Recognize these thoughts for what they are, interference from beings and energies that benefit from keeping your sister trapped in darkness. Push through these obstacles with faith, with the certain knowledge that you are doing what heaven has called you to do, that you are acting in alignment with divine will, that you are protected and guided by forces far more powerful than anything that would seek to stop you. I also want to prepare you for the possibility that even with perfect execution of a loving intervention, your sister may not be ready to face her truth. Free will means that she can choose to continue in denial, to reject your concerns, to harden her heart against help. If this happens, you must not interpret it as failure on your part. You will have done what heaven asked of you. You will have planted seeds of truth that will continue to work in her consciousness even if she consciously rejects them in the moment. Sometimes the most important spiritual work happens beneath the surface, in the subconscious realms where angels can work with the seeds that have been planted by human intervention. Your job is to be faithful to the calling, to speak truth in love, to offer support without enabling, and then to release the outcome to divine providence. If she does open up to you, if she does begin to confess what she has been hiding, you must be prepared to hear things that shock you, things that may conflict with your image of who she is, things that may be painful to know. Do not interrupt her confession with expressions of horror or disappointment. Let her speak fully. Give her the space to empty herself of the burdens she has been carrying alone. There will be time later for discussions about consequences and next steps, but in the initial moment of confession, your role is simply to receive her truth with compassion and without judgment. This does not mean you condone what she has done. It means you are creating the container of love within which healing can begin to occur. After she has confessed, after the initial truth has been spoken, then comes the work of addressing the practical and spiritual consequences of what has been hidden. There may be amends that need to be made, relationships that need honest conversation, situations that need to be unwound, spiritual practices that need to be undertaken to cleanse the darkness that has accumulated. You may need to help her navigate these processes, to stand beside her as she faces difficult consequences, to be a source of strength when the path forward seems impossibly hard. This is the continuation of the sacred trust heaven has placed in you, not just to catalyze the revelation but to support the restoration that must follow. Let me speak now about the spiritual forces that are gathering to support this intervention if you choose to undertake it. The moment you decide to act in alignment with heaven's will, legions of angels are assigned to assist you, to smooth the path, to soften her heart, to create circumstances favorable to truth being spoken and received. You are not alone in this. You are backed by the full power of the celestial realms, by beings of light who have been fighting for your sister's soul since the moment she began to stray from her path. Your willingness to be used as an instrument of heaven's mercy opens doorways through which divine grace can flood into a situation that has been starved of light. This is the magnificent truth of how heaven and earth work together. We provide the power and the wisdom, you provide the incarnate presence and the human love through which our power can be grounded and made effective in material reality. Prayer will be essential in the days ahead, not just prayer for your sister but prayer for yourself, for wisdom and courage and the right words at the right moment. Ask for Archangel Michael's protection to surround you both. Ask for Archangel Raphael's healing to prepare her heart for truth. Ask for Archangel Gabriel's clarity to help you communicate with power and precision. Ask for Archangel Uriel's light to illuminate the hidden corners of the situation. These great beings of light stand ready to assist when invoked. We cannot force our help upon anyone, but when invited through prayer and intention, we can work wonders in situations that seem hopeless from a human perspective. You should also know that timing is spiritually significant in what I am telling you. You are receiving this message now, in this particular moment of your life and hers, because the cosmic alignments are optimal for intervention, because the spiritual conditions are such that success is more likely now than it would be at other times. There are seasons in the spiritual realm just as there are seasons in nature, times when certain seeds can take root and times when they cannot, times when hearts are more open and times when they are more closed. Right now, despite appearances, despite whatever walls your sister has built, her soul is in a season where truth can penetrate if delivered with love by someone she trusts. This window is open now, but it will not remain open indefinitely, and this is why I emphasize urgency, why I tell you that delay could mean the difference between redemption and disaster. Consider what your relationship with your sister means to you. Consider the history you share, the memories you have built together, the bond that exists between you. This relationship is a sacred trust, a spiritual covenant that goes deeper than merely sharing parents or growing up in the same household. You are connected at the soul level. You chose before incarnating to be in family with each other, to support each other's growth, to be there for each other in moments of crisis. This is such a moment. This is when that soul covenant becomes activated in its fullest sense, when you are called upon to fulfill the deeper purpose of your familial connection. Some people go through their entire lives without ever truly showing up for their family in moments of real crisis. They maintain surface relationships but flee when depth is required. They offer pleasantries but withdraw when sacrifice is needed. You are being given the opportunity to be different, to be the one who does not look away, who does not pretend everything is fine when it is not, who loves deeply enough to speak difficult truth. There is also a broader picture here that you need to understand, one that extends beyond just your sister's individual situation. Families are spiritual units, energetic systems where what affects one member affects all members. Your sister's secrets and the spiritual darkness they have invited in do not only impact her, they create vulnerability in the entire family structure, openings through which negative influences can enter and affect everyone. By helping to bring her secrets to light, by facilitating her return to truth and alignment, you are not only saving her, you are protecting the entire family system, closing doorways that should never have been opened, restoring the spiritual integrity of your family line. This is generational work you are being called to do, work that will have impacts extending into the future, affecting not just those alive now but those yet to be born into your family lineage. I want to address something that may be causing you anxiety as you read this message, the fear that you are not equipped for such a significant spiritual task, that you do not have the wisdom or strength or spiritual authority to be an instrument of divine intervention. These feelings of inadequacy are common when heaven calls someone to a task larger than they feel prepared for, but understand this: heaven does not call the equipped, heaven equips the called. The very fact that this message has reached you, that you are reading these words right now, is evidence that you have been chosen and that you will be given everything you need to fulfill what is being asked of you. Do not lean on your own understanding or your own strength. Lean into the divine power that will flow through you when you surrender yourself as a vessel for heaven's purpose. Your sister needs you right now more than she has ever needed you, even if she does not know it, even if she would deny it, even if asking for help is the last thing she would consciously do. In the depths of her soul, in the part of her that remains connected to truth and light, she is crying out for intervention, for someone to love her enough to not accept her lies, for someone to care enough to push past her defenses and speak truth that can set her free. You can be that someone, you are being called to be that someone, and if you answer this call with faith and courage, you will look back on this moment as one of the most important of your life, a time when you rose to meet a challenge that heaven placed before you and became a true agent of divine love in the world. Let me paint a picture for you of what could be if you succeed in this mission. If you approach your sister with love and truth and she receives what you have to say, if confession happens and healing begins. I see her unburdened, the weight of secrets lifted from her shoulders, walking lighter than she has walked in years. I see relationships restored, trust rebuilt slowly and patiently, the family system returning to health and wholeness. I see her reconnected to her spiritual source, praying again with authenticity, feeling the presence of her guardian angels, living in alignment with her true values and deepest self. I see her looking back on this time as a dark period that she survived, grateful for the intervention that pulled her back from the brink, thankful for a sibling who loved her enough to speak difficult truth. This is the future that is possible if you act with wisdom and courage in the present moment. But I must also show you the alternative timeline, the future that unfolds if no intervention happens, if secrets continue to compound, if your sister continues on her current trajectory. I see exposure coming in the worst possible way, public revelation that humiliates her and devastates those who love her, consequences that are far more severe because they were avoided until they could be avoided no longer. I see broken relationships that might never be fully repaired, trust so damaged that decades will not heal it, your sister retreating into bitterness and isolation, convinced that she is beyond redemption, that she has ruined everything beyond repair. I see spiritual darkness deepening, the light within her growing dimmer, opportunities for course correction missed because she was allowed to continue in deception for too long. This is the future that becomes more likely with each day that passes without intervention. This is what you can help prevent by acting now. The question before you is simple in essence, even if complex in execution. Will you be the one who steps forward, who speaks truth in love, who becomes the instrument through which heaven's mercy reaches your sister? Or will you turn away from this calling, convincing yourself that it is not your place to get involved, that she is an adult who can make her own choices, that speaking up would be crossing boundaries or being judgmental? These are the two paths before you, and each leads to a radically different future, not just for her but for you, because your soul will bear the consequences of the choice you make in this moment. If you turn away when heaven calls you to act, you will carry that knowledge, that regret, especially when the future unfolds in the painful ways that I have described, and you know that you could have made a difference but chose not to. I speak to you with urgency because the situation is urgent, with authority because I come with the full backing of heaven's throne, with compassion because I understand how difficult this calling is, with certainty because I see from a vantage point beyond time and know what hangs in the balance. Your sister's life is at a tipping point, and you are the fulcrum on which that balance will shift one way or the other. Do not underestimate the significance of this moment. Do not delay out of fear or uncertainty. Do not convince yourself that tomorrow will be a better time to act. The time is now, the calling is clear, and heaven waits to see how you will respond to this sacred trust that has been placed in your hands. I, Archangel Michael, commander of heaven's armies, defender of truth, protector of souls, have delivered the message I was sent to deliver. The revelation is coming, the secrets will be exposed, the reckoning will occur. The only question that remains is whether you will step into your role as an agent of divine intervention, creating a path of mercy and restoration, or whether the revelation will come in harsher forms, through circumstances beyond anyone's control. Choose love, choose courage, choose to be the person who shows up when it is hard, who speaks when it is uncomfortable, who acts when others would remain passive. Your sister's soul, your family's well-being, and your own spiritual growth all hang in the balance of what you decide to do with this information. May the blessings of the Most High be upon you, may wisdom guide your words, may courage strengthen your heart, may love flow through your actions, and may the outcome be redemption, restoration, and return to the light for your sister and for all whose lives are touched by this situation. The angels of heaven stand with you. We are ready to assist. We await your decision to step forward into the sacred task for which you have been chosen. Do not fear, for we are with you. Do not doubt, for you have been equipped. Do not delay, for the time is now. Go forward in faith, speak truth in love, and trust that heaven's purposes will be accomplished through your willingness to be used as an instrument of divine grace. The light has already begun to push back the darkness, the truth is already rising to the surface, and you are called to be part of the glorious work of setting captives free. This is your moment, this is your calling, this is the hour for which you were born. Answer it with everything you are, and watch as heaven moves in power to bring about transformation that only divine love can accomplish.